Welcome to A White Woman in Distress. I'm Amber, your host, and this is a special mini-series dedicated to unknown persons. Over time, remains have been found, or bodies of those who are remembered only as Jane or John Does. These nameless victims, the unidentified souls who left behind stories that have yet to be told. In each episode, we'll explore the details of their disappearances, any mysteries surrounding their deaths, and the efforts to uncover their identities. Though they may be forgotten by many, we are here to shine a light on their cases. If you recognize any of the photos or details, please reach out to the local FBI, NamUs, or your local authorities. This content may include sexual assault, murder, violence. Listener discretion is advised. Please hang out, tag along, and let's get started. Today, we're discussing the mysterious discovery of an unidentified male in Harris County, Texas. Case number 2235-UMTX, as it's known, has puzzled investigators for decades. This is the story of a man whose identity has remained unknown for over 60 years. On November 1st, 1958, skeletal remains were found in a remote wooded area just east of Greens Bayou, about a mile off of Wallisville Road in Harris County, Texas. The remains were discovered by passers-by, and investigators quickly arrived to the scene to collect what evidence that they could. Unfortunately, due to the advanced state of decomposition, there was little left to go on. Experts determined that the remains had likely been there for about a year before they were found. The victim's cause of death is still unknown to this day. Based on the skeletal analysis, the victim is believed to have been a black male between the ages of 30 and 50 years old. His height was estimated to be between 5'4" and 5'6". No clothing, jewelry, or personal items were found at the scene, further complicating efforts to identify him. One of the few clues investigators did have were the man's teeth. He had a gap between his front teeth about 1/8 of an inch wide, and some of the remaining teeth showed signs of dental work, including a filling in one upper tooth. However, many of his teeth were missing, with only 8 remaining in the upper jaw and 7 in the lower. Unfortunately, this detail alone wasn't enough to make a positive identification at the time. At the time of the discovery, DNA technology was not available, leaving investigators to rely on more traditional methods, such as dental records and physical characteristics. Unfortunately, no fingerprint analysis could be done, and there were no immediate matches in missing persons reports. The case quickly grew cold. As authorities had little evidence to work with, the remains were processed by the Harris County Institute of Forensic Science, which maintains the case to this day, under the case number ML. Despite the decades that have passed, there have been no new information or leads to reveal the identity of this individual. This case is just one of many across the country where the person's identity remains a mystery. It's a heartbreaking reality that someone can die without anyone knowing who they are. As of today, there is still no known family or friends who have come forward to claim this man's remains. Cases like these highlight the importance of missing persons databases and resources like NamUs, the National Missing and Unidentified Person System, which helps families and investigators connect the dots. Case 2235 as remains listed in NamUs under case number UP4530. And investigators continue to hope that one day the man's identity will be discovered. If you have any information that might help to identify this man, if you know someone who went missing in Texas between 1957 and 1958 who matches the description of a black male between the ages of 30 and 50 years old with a gap between his front teeth, please contact the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences at 713-66774. The case number is ML58-13. Even the smallest piece of information could be key to giving this man his name back. Thank you for joining me today for this episode of A White Woman in Distress. While this case remains unsolved, it's important that we continue to talk about it and keep it in the public eye. Every unidentified person had a life, a story, and loved ones. It's our hope that by telling these stories, we can bring them closer to being solved. Until next time, stay safe and vigilant, and remember, if you see something, say something, and do something.